Look at my bitterball, y'all. Look at this cute little bitterball, y'all.
Let me see.
My people, y'all, hello my people. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Yancy and this is the Miss Yancy Network. That introduction was for all my Liberians. Hey y'all, this video here is really for y'all, but everybody can watch this if you are interested in what we're about to grow today based on the title of this video. Okay, all right y'all, by the title of this video you already know what we're growing today. We're growing Kittiley, bitterball, and eggplant. Now we're growing those three things. We're starting the seeds of those three things. I've already started the germination process, which I already taught you guys how to do in previous videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the previous videos showing you how to speed up the germination of your seeds so that they can grow extremely fast. Okay, so I have them in a cup right here. I got my Kittiley, my bitterball here. Also, I'm reusing these cups, so y'all might see like different writings on them, but I know what they are because I write them in different colors. We recycle over here, okay? We reuse our cups and all of our things before they go down to the ground. We use it all the way down to the ground. We don't throw away anything, okay? And then after I'm done soaking these seeds, I'm gonna use them as a pot that I will grow the plants in, or probably use them to up-pot my plants. So you already know we use different color markers and all of that good stuff. But yes, y'all, so we growing Kittiley, bitterball, and eggplant. I wanted to come on here to show you guys how to start the seeds for those, how to germinate them. If y'all want to know how to speed up the germination, go ahead and watch that last video. I'm not going over that in this video because I'll tell you guys about it in every single video, okay? For those of you that do not know what Kittiley and bitterball is, it's pretty much in the eggplant family. It's just like the super tiny one. So the Kittiley is like the very, very tiny looking eggplant kind of thing. And then the bitterball is like the medium size looking eggplant kind of thing, but they're like different colors. Where your typical American eggplant may be purple, the Kittiley and bitterball can range in colors between yellow, orange, and red. So for the bitterball, a lot of Ghanaians may know it as garden eggs, or other parts of the world may know it as garden eggs. But in Liberia, we call it bitterball. And then the Kittiley. And the Kittiley, one thing I do know though, is that a lot of Asians cook with the Kittiley. So a lot of Asians may also know about the Kittiley and bitterball, but they might just call it different names. I'm not sure what the scientific names are, but if I find out the scientific names, I will put it in the description of this video just in case you're interested. But the Kittiley is very bitter. It's like the very small eggplant, like it's like tiny, like miniature, very, very tiny. I'll put some pictures in a video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It is extremely bitter. So we use it in dishes like tabagi and different Liberian dishes, which is my favorite. That's why I'm growing this. Tabagi is one of my favorite dishes in Liberia. It's from the Lorma tribe in Liberia. They're the main ones that make the tabagi, and I love me some tabagi. I'm not Lorma, but your girl loves the tabagi, okay? Gribble girl that love tabagi. Okay? But anyway, I'm just gonna show you guys how to start those seeds just in case you want to start them yourself. I grew Kittiley last year, but what I did was I just sprinkled the seeds. It was in the middle of summer just to see if it was gonna grow, because I purchased the seeds in the middle of summer. And this time around, I want to try starting it from indoors just to see what the difference would be like. I'm still going to sprinkle some seeds in the soil, and because they grow pretty quickly. I mean, they're in the eggplant family, so you know, eggplants, they grow really, really quickly. It doesn't take long for them to grow. So this is an experiment for me, starting the seeds indoor just to get like a head start on some of them, and hopefully I will be able to get some harvest in the summer versus when I start direct sow them, you know, during the summer, and see what happens. So you guys are going to come along on this journey with me. If you're Asian, African, West African specifically, Liberian specifically, you may be interested in what I'm about to grow. This process is very similar to how I start all of my seeds. I did the germination process to speed up the germination of these seeds. Now I'm about to show you guys the soil, the fertilizer, and the supplies that I'll be using. All of them can be found in my Amazon store, which is in the description of this video. Also, the seeds, I purchased it from Etsy. last year. So if you're interested in buying those seeds, they're very exotic seeds. A lot of people don't have them because they're plants that are natively grown in Africa and parts of Asia. Alrighty, y'all, let's get started. This is gonna be a really quick one. Just want to show you guys how I start my seeds because I have a lot of Liberian subscribers that want to know how I start the seeds for my Kittiley and my bitterball specifically. There is someone in, I believe, Florida. I'm so sorry, I cannot remember your name, but you are my girl, and you cook a lot of Liberian food for your husband because you are married to a Liberian man. Hey, all right. So, girl, this is how you grow your Kittiley and your bitterball so you can cook your tabagi for your boo. And I'm gonna show you guys also when I direct sow them. These seeds, they're so easy to grow. Like they're probably one of the easiest seeds to grow because last year when I just threw it in some soil, I did not do anything extra. I threw it in some soil and just watered it every day, and those things grew. They got tall, and the reason why I'm even starting this early, I'm really excited about starting this early, is because I want to get more harvest. These particular plants are really expensive in the store because they are imported into the United States from different countries in Africa, and because of that, they take advantage of the price and hike it up. So if you're like me and you're not trying to spend all that money in the African store buying your Kittiley and bitterball to cook your tabagi, do what I'm doing, okay? This is very easy. Go buy your seeds from Etsy or whoever you can get some seeds from and get to growing, because this year, 2025, we growing our own food. We saving money. Forget all that terrorist stuff, whatever is going on, okay? We're gonna grow our own food and we're going to thrive in all 2025. We're gonna thrive in 2025, okay? Nobody's stopping us. We're homesteading. We're starting our homesteading journey. Wherever you are in your gardening journey, you are in the right place. But alrighty, y'all, come along. Let's get this started. This is gonna be really quick, super easy, and I cannot wait to show you guys the progress of these seeds, okay? Come along, come along, come along. My people, y'all can, yeah. My people, y'all can, my people, y'all can, yeah. Y'all know what we're doing today. We cook. Y'all know what we're doing today. Today we sowing bitterball Kittiley seeds so we can make our tabagi. If that you want, then you're in the right place. Come along, come along, come along. Ella be in there hustling for y'all. They want for y'all. All right, come on, y'all. I play too much. One look, and I breathe. Okay, oh my people, let me show you the thing what I'm using today. All right, so this is what I'll be using today. This is the seed starting soil seed starting mix that I'll be using. It's by Jiffy. You already know that. I got my worm castings that I'll be using to start the seeds, and I'll be mixing it with some water. And then I also have these seed starting trays. Here you go, right here. This should look like this. This should all have some holes in the bottom because your soil needs to be able to be drained. They need well-drained soil, and this is the bottom because we are going to be watering it from the bottom once they germinate. We're going to water it from the bottom because that's the best way to water your plants. All right, so we have our seeds already here nicely ready to germinate because we went through that germination process, and I'll show you guys how to do it already in a previous video. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. All right, so let's get started in preparing the soil, and then we're going to start our seeds. I don't know, I'm feeling like I should do this whole video in Liberian English, but then I also want non-Liberians to understand what I'm saying. So I will do it halfway, half and half, okay? I will, I'm gonna do a little bit of code switching up in here in this video today, so I could give my Liberians, what they want or what they need so they can understand exactly what I'm saying, because they really want to grow this, okay? And I love all of my Liberian subscribers because y'all be behind me. Y'all like, okay, so when you gonna grow this? When you gonna grow that? Especially the Kittiley and the bitterball. Y'all been asking me about it for a long time. So today is the day that you get what you want. Okay, I'm giving y'all what y'all want, and I'm also introducing this to my American audience that would also like to know how to grow this, because apart from it being all of the things that I described, bitterball has a lot of health benefits. Bitterball and Kittiley has a lot of health benefits. Like the Kittiley, which is the super tiny ones, they're used a lot. Apart from the way we cook it, you know, we cook it very unhealthily, but it's a very healthy veggie. It's very, very healthy. It has a lot of health benefits. It's very medicinal. You can even chew it like that. It's extremely bitter, but it's very, very medicinal. It's one of those bitter type of veggie that has like kind of a sweet aftertaste. So if you chew it by itself, which is extremely bitter, if you could chew it by itself, big ups to you, okay? But after you chew it, for some reason, it's like some type of sweet aftertaste. I can't explain it. But if you guys are familiar with bitterball and Kittiley, please let me know in the comments. I will write the scientific names for them so you guys can be able to Google exactly what it is and learn all of the medicinal and the health benefits of them. They're very, very healthy. But one thing I love about Liberians, though, we have a lot of healthy food. We eat a lot of veggies. It's just the way we cook it that may not be as healthy, but for the most part, our food is extremely healthy. So you might want to try it. All right, y'all. So we're gonna put the soil in here. Remember, you want to use seed starting mix because it does not have wood chips, and if it does have wood chips, it's very tiny and is almost like well composted. You want soil that is very drainable, and seed starting soil is like that. I'm gonna mix some more of the worm castings. Now we're gonna add some water and mix it up. You want to add enough water to this mix and mix it up very nicely. But you also want to make sure that the soil is not drenched. You just want to make sure that it's wet enough, but it's not drenched. When it's drenched, when you go ahead and squeeze it, you might see water dripping out. You don't want to squeeze the soil and you see water dripping out. You want it to be just wet enough because we're not trying to cook the seeds, okay? Yo, I am so excited about this video though, because this is something that has been highly requested from my Liberian people, from the Liberian community. This is something that's been highly requested. And to be honest with y'all, I'm so excited to have started this channel. I really started this channel to inspire Liberians to gardening. And because, especially in the US, if you are in the diaspora, you may be in Europe or America or wherever, and some of these plants are things that are not native to these countries and they're all imported. And so therefore they're extremely expensive in the African market or the international market. So one of the reasons why I was very grateful to start this channel is I wanted to show Liberians how to grow our native food from back home, so that, and then these are the food that we're growing, like the things like the Kittiley and bitterball. They're things that freeze very well. They store very well in the freezer. So they're things that when they grow, when you harvest them, you can store it in your freezer. And if you grow enough, you could have enough for the entire year, where you do not have to go and purchase it from the African store or the international store. Because man, y'all know these days the prices of groceries are ridiculous, and the price of this particular vegetable was already expensive in the African market. And the fact that we're able to grow our own in our own backyard, no matter what zone you're in, you are able to grow this. If you're in like a colder zone where you have like a shorter summer or a shorter length of like a hot season, then you could start the seeds of these early. And I think that's what I forgot to mention to you all. I'm in zone 8B. I'm in zone 8A, 8B, and the best time to put your plants outside in my area in Maryland is during Mother's Day week, because that is when the low temperature is consistently 50 degrees or higher. So you do not want to put your plants outside if the low temperature is below 50 degrees. If it's below 50 degrees, you don't want to put your plants outside, because the thing about these type of plants like Kittiley and bitterball and eggplant and things like that, they require the heat to grow. They need the heat, so they don't do well in cold temperatures. But until, you know, if you know you're in one of those zones like zone 5A, like, you know, or, you know, below 7B, if you're in any of those zones that's below 7, then you want to go ahead and start your seeds indoor, probably in February or March. Like the Kittiley and bitterball, they grow pretty quick, so you could probably start them like in, you know, in February or March. And then come May, you'll have like really big plants that's ready to go into the garden, and you'll be harvesting very soon, because you already have nice and mature plants that's ready to go outside in the garden. That's the only reason why you would want to start indoors if you're in like a colder zone. But like I said, you could direct sow these seeds directly into the soil outside, and they're gonna do well. You may or may not get as much harvest depending on the zone you're in. So I can't wait to see how this is gonna go. So the experiment is, I'm gonna sow these seeds in here, start these seeds in here, and then I'm also gonna direct sow them outside and see which one yields the most and how they both do. And I want a lot of Kittiley and bitterball. I want like a year's worth of it, so I'm gonna be growing a lot of it so that I could put it in my freezer and never have to buy it again ever. And I will be harvesting the seeds from my bitterball and Kittiley so that I could be saving it for the next season. And if I harvest enough of it, I will offer it to you guys on my Etsy store so that you could be able to purchase it as well. If you're not familiar, I have an Etsy store that have a lot of seeds of things that I grew from my garden last year, like peppers, watermelon, cantaloupe, a host of different things. You can check that out in the description below if you would like to see what seeds I have in my Etsy store. They're all on sale right now, so if you're interested, go ahead and check it out, okay? But all right, well, my people, we finished now. This soil finish is juicy, ready. See how it's looking, how your soil's supposed to be looking, huh? Your soil's supposed to be looking at it. It's supposed to be watery, you know? You want watery and soil. You want it to be nice and moist, but not too watery. Just right. See, I'm squeezing it, but you don't see no water coming. No water coming. I'm squeezing it, no water coming. Now how you want your soil to be. You want it to be light and airy like this. Very light and airy. It makes it easier for your seeds to grow. It makes it easy for your seeds to pop out, okay? You don't want it to be too wet. If it's too wet, your seed will probably die. It will not grow, because seeds do not like extremely wet soil. After they germinate, then you can go ahead and water it from the bottom of the tray. All right, our soil is ready, y'all. See, y'all see proper soil. This is what your soil should look like. This is what your soil should look like, okay? Very nice, moist, and ready to go. All right, well, my people, we finished with the soil. Now let's come put a seed inside the tin. Let's come put a seed inside the seed tray, and then we'll plant it inside it, and then we'll keep it going. Okay, y'all, we're about to put the seeds in the tray and get it popping. Let me show y'all how we're about to get this done. All right, my people, let's come fill up the tin now. All right, y'all, so we are going to fill up our seed trays with the soil. You can do it like this. Remember, it gets really messy doing this, so make sure you're doing this somewhere that you don't mind getting messy. Okay, I'm doing it on my dining room table, but I have a tablecloth in my dining room. First and foremost, my dining room is my greenhouse, by the way. So for the beginning of the year until like May, my dining room is out of commission. We don't invite anybody over because we can't host nobody because I need the space in my dining room and it be looking crazy up in here. So we can't host nobody during the months of January, actually the months of March until May. Okay, we don't host nobody because this house be looking like my greenhouse. Until I can get a greenhouse, I don't know when that's gonna be. Maybe when YouTube send me that check. And it gotta be a big check too, because y'all know greenhouses are really expensive, okay? All right, we are all done. Here you go, here you go. It's nicely filled. Now, let me show y'all what we're about to do with the seeds in it. Okay, y'all, when you're planting these seeds, you want to make sure that you're planting them a 1/4 inch into the soil. You don't want it to be too deep because you want to make sure that the seeds can pop up at the top of the soil. You want to make sure it will pop up when you plant it. So I'm just putting like a 1/4 inch deep hole into the cell tray, and then when we put the seeds in there, we're going to lightly cover it. We're just trying to give the seed the chance to be able to pop up easily when it starts to germinate. You know, that's the reason why you don't want to wet the soil too much, because it makes the soil heavy and too thick, and the seeds may not like that, so it won't be able to pop up or germinate properly. And that's the reason why you also want to use seed starting mix, because you don't want any soil that have like a lot of wood chips in them and just different organic matter that will make it difficult for the seed to germinate. Because if you have things like wood chips and things like that in there, the seeds may not pop up, because you could have like one of those wood chips literally laying on top of the seed, and now those baby seeds that are trying to come up, they can't come up because you got something heavy laying on top of it. So you need to give it the best chance of survival, because these are about to be your babies, y'all. This is your baby. Okay, y'all, so the first thing we are about to start with is our Kittiley. Now remember what I told you guys in that germination video where we did these. When you see that the seeds drop all the way to the bottom, that means that it has a high germination rate. So after you do this process and you see the seeds that are at the bottom, those are the ones that have a high germination rate, meaning that they're going to germinate and they're going to be successful. Okay, if you see any floating at the top, you will want to get rid of those, or take your chances and see if they're going to grow. But for me, I will be getting rid of them. Okay, I don't see any at the top, which means these are some really good seeds and they're going to germinate. So let's go ahead and take the water out. And the water that we're taking out of here, I am not going to get rid of it. I'm actually going to use it to water my other plants, because this is good water, you know, got the seeds soaking in there. All right, y'all, so here it is. The thing about the Kittiley and bitterball seeds, they are very, very tiny. So you have to figure out a way that you are going to plant them, which is one of the reasons why I just decided to sprinkle it into the soil last year, because the seeds were so tiny. I'm like, I don't even see how I'm going to be able to start these from seeds without putting multiple into each cell trace, which is what I'm going to do today. So because these seeds are like extremely tiny, I am going to use a spoon to put them in the cell trace. So I'm just going to put it over here into the 1/4 inch hole that we created. Now there are multiple seeds that are going here, which means there are multiple seeds that are going to grow. So when the time comes, I am going to up pot them. I will separate the seeds depending on the amount of germination that we get. I will up pot them that way. So you just go ahead and put in a hole, or you could spread it, you know, spread the seeds around, and then you just lightly cover it up with some soil. You're not planting it too deep, like you see right here. I didn't plant it too deep, and I'm just going to put a little bit of soil on top just so it's covered up so that it can germinate within the soil. So that's how you do it, y'all. That's pretty much it. This is pretty much it. All right, let's do the rest of them because we're trying to hurry up. These seeds are so freaking tiny, y'all. They are so freaking tiny. I probably didn't even need to do the speeding up of the germination process. I could have just direct sowed it into these cell trays and they were probably gonna do well regardless, which is what I probably should have done. But this is gonna make it grow even faster than normal, so I'm okay with that. And the fact that I'm starting them about a month away before I transplant them, I think that's good enough time to start these seeds. We're all done sewing the Kittiley into the cell trays. That's exactly how you sew into the cell trays. You guys saw that I lightly put them on top and lightly put some soil on top of the seeds. You don't want to plant them too deep. Y'all see how tiny those seeds are, so they are going to need help to come up when we want to give them all the help that we can give them. So you don't want to plant it too deep, and you don't want to heavily put soil on it heavily. So after you're done doing that, we're going to get our labels and label it, because we like to label all of the things that we have, because we don't want to make that mistake in mixing up the Kittiley and the bitterball, so we know which one is which, and it is going to be a disaster if you don't label it. And remember guys, you can find these labels in my Amazon store. This particular label is about 200 of them in the pack, and I think it's worth it, especially if you plan on growing a ton of stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and label this, and then we can continue with the bitterball. So here is my spelling of Kittiley. If that's how it's spelled and that's not how it's spelled, oh well, I know what it is. Spell it how you know how to spell it, okay? All right, we're done with that. So we have about 3 rows of Kittiley. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, okay, so we have about 18 different Kittiley plants that we're planting in hopes that they're all gonna germinate. And because we have multiple seeds in each of them, it's gonna be double that 18. we could easily get about 100 Kittiley plants if they all germinate, if all of the seeds germinate. All right, so let's go ahead and do the bitterball. The bitterball is gonna be the same way. We're gonna sow it the same way into the cell tray, the exact same way. As you guys can see, my bitterball, all the seeds are at the bottom. I don't have a ton of them as the Kittiley seed. The bitterball seeds, they're a little bit larger than the Kittiley seed, so this is gonna be a little bit easier sowing them into the cell trays. I don't have to put as many, but I probably will put like maybe 2 or 3 in each cell tray, depending on how many seeds we have. These seeds are a little bigger, so I'm gonna empty it onto this right here, which is gonna make it easier to pick up with the skewer stick that I'm using. That should make it a little bit easier to get off of the paper towel or on the plate. I'm gonna dry it up on the plate. This is the bitterball seed. Imagine how small this is. So imagine how small the Kittiley seed was. Crazy. Alrighty y'all, we are all done with the Kittiley and bitterball. That is how you sow it into the cell trays. Now that we're done, we're gonna spray some water on top. Today I'll be using my banana water solution. So pretty much this is banana peel with water that I let sit for a couple of days so that the nutrients from the banana peel can be extracted into the water. The plants love this. It's like a natural fertilizer. They love it. They are going to thrive on it. So try it out if you like, or you could just spray regular water on top just so it can have just a little bit of moisture, which is the reason why we didn't add too much water to the soil when we first started to put water into the soil when we were preparing the soil. That's why we did not put a lot of water in there, because we were gonna spray on top of it with some water anyway. And this solution is like a natural fertilizer. All right, so once we're done, you can go ahead and place this into your seed tray, the bottom of it. When the seeds germinate, then we're going to start watering them from the bottom. So what you'll do is you'll add about 1/2 inch of water in here, and that is what is going to water these plants. So now, if you have the type of cell trays that have the lids on them, you'll go ahead and put the dome cover on top of it. This particular one do not have a dome cover. So if you're like me and you don't have a dome cover, this is gonna suffice. This is a Reynolds plastic wrap. It could be any plastic wrap, and you're gonna cover this up because what it's doing is trapping the heat in there so that the plant can actually germinate. It needs the heat to germinate. So we're gonna wrap this up. If you're like me and you don't have the dome cover, we're gonna be, very resourceful today and use the sandwich wrap. So we're just gonna put enough on top to make sure that it covers it up very, very well. You wanna make sure that it is covered very, very well. Now I'm gonna use some tape so I could tape it to the bottom, so I could take the plastic to the bottom of the container. right, y'all, there you have it. They are all ready. Got our bitterball, our Kittiley inside here. The tteokbokki will be juicy this summer. Oh, my people, y'all can, yeah. Oh, I can't wait. All right, y'all, there you go. Now we're going to start the seeds of the actual eggplant. Like this one is gonna be regular eggplant, American eggplant, whatever, the regular purple eggplant. So let's go ahead and start the seeds for those, and I will let you guys go. So here is the regular eggplant. As you can see, their seeds are definitely bigger than the seeds for the bitterball. Actually, no, the bitterball and this eggplant seeds, they're pretty much the same thing, but it's definitely bigger than the Kittiley. Kittiley seeds are so freaking tiny, my goodness. I think it's just best to direct sow the Kittiley because the seeds are so freaking tiny. Y'all, so we're about to fill up the soil in here, and then we're gonna plant our eggplant, okay? Alrighty, y'all, we are all done. This is how you start the seeds for your eggplant, your Kittiley, and your bitterball, okay? Don't say Miss Yancey ain't never taught you nothing, okay? Now these, after this germination process that we did, especially with soaking the seeds, it should germinate within like 7 days or less, okay? I'm gonna give you guys feedback and updates on the germination process. I'm gonna write them down, and I'm gonna make sure I get that back to you guys, and hopefully yours germinate just as fast when you follow the Miss Yancey process, okay? All right, so now that we're done, they need the heat to grow, so we're gonna set these under my table where I have my grow lights. I have shop lights under there. I'll take you guys to it like really quickly once I'm done. But yeah, so you just want to put some lights on top of it, or set it in an area that brings in a lot of light from the sun, like the window, or you know, you want to keep it somewhere that's warm and has a lot of light, and that is going to help it germinate. The plastic is on top of it to trap the heat in there to help it germinate. Now remember, once you notice that they have started to germinate, meaning you're seeing some green, or you might see the seeds pop out of the soil. Once you start to see the seeds pop out of the soil, remove the plastic from on top, remove the dome cover, whatever it is you have covering them, remove it, because the seed, once they start to pop, they need air. You want to remove the plastic cover so that they can grow. If you keep the plastic cover over them or the dome cover over them while they are germinating, once you see the seeds come out and they have germinated, if you keep the plastic or the dome cover over them, they're going to die, because they do not like the moisture and all of what it entails when it's covered like that. It's only to germinate the seeds, and once it's germinated, they need the air. So once you see a little bit of seeds start to pop out, it doesn't matter, even if it's in one tray, even if it's only in like one cell, that means the rest of them are about to germinate. You want to remove it, and pretty soon you'll see the rest of them popping up. But make sure you pay attention to them. Look, check them like, you know, every 2 days, just to see if you see anything popping up, and remove your dome cover or remove the plastic wrap, okay? And that's about it. Once that is done, once it germinates, you guys can up pot them. Of course, I will show you guys the entire process once they have germinated and me up potting them. We'll see if I'm even going to up pot them or just wait to transplant them into the soil in May outside in my garden. So we'll see if I decide to up pot them or not. I don't think I'm gonna up pot them, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear, because my dining room is now headed into my living room because I'm just oversupplied with a lot of seedlings. Alrighty, y'all, we're all done. that's how you start your seeds. And this process that we just did to start these particular seeds, you can use the same process to start all of your seeds. Okay, they just all have different growing windows. That's it. But as far as germinating, speeding up the germination, this entire process of what we used with the soil and the fertilizer, you can use this process for all of your seeds. Okay, all right, y'all, thank you guys so much for being here today. Now, all my LIB people, y'all, thank you for watching this video. Yeah, you better, I hope y'all subscribe to the channel, because you're getting out early and show you how to grow your own kitty, your own bitterball, so you can cook your own tteokbokki. You can cook tteokbokki all year long, because you will grow your own kittiley and bitterball. You have to go in the African store to buy the expensive thing, right? They're so expensive, so we won't cut out the price from that. So we'll grow our own thing and we'll put it in our freezer and we'll keep it. In fact, if we grow plenty, we'll start selling it. How about that? I'm sorry, y'all. Hopefully y'all understood a little bit of what I said, if you're not Liberian. But everybody else, thank you for being here today. That's how you grow your eggplant as well. As you can see, I'm growing eggplant. I'm not a big fan of eggplant like that. I'm really growing it to companion plant with like my peppers and other things. I'll talk to you guys about it later, just to distract some of the bugs that want to eat the pepper leaves. And I'm going to put my eggplant in between them, because the eggplant, they grow so beautifully. The leaves are big, lush, and healthy. So hopefully the pests are going to be distracted by the eggplant leaves and actually leave the things that I really want to grow, like my peppers and, you know, my other things. So I'm growing eggplant as a distraction, but of course I'm still going to eat it, and I will, you know, share it with my family and things like that. But I'm really growing it to be a distraction plant from, you know, the pests and the things that like to eat the pepper leaves. Because y'all, when we transplant these into the garden, you're gonna see all of the things that lives in the soil in the backyard that want to eat your food. Alrighty, y'all, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Let me know if you have any comments. If you have any advice, let me know. If you have any tips and tricks in growing Kittiley tteokbokki. Not tteokbokki. Let me know if you know how to grow tteokbokki. Now that is something. But yeah, so let me know if you have any comments, tips, advice, or anything like that in the comments. Let's conversate in the comment. Let the people know, okay, we're a community here and we love to help out each other. We don't gatekeep on this channel. We show everything that we're using and how we're doing it, because I want you to sow something and grow something, okay? I want you to grow your own food, because it's getting real out here. All right, now remember, you guys can find all of the supplies in my Amazon store linked below this video in the description, as well as don't forget to get your seeds on Etsy. They're all on sale right now. Also, my people, I have a garden group on Facebook called Sow Something, Grow Something. It's Miss Yancy Gardening Network. Please join the group, y'all. I want to see y'all in the group, and I want to see all of the things that you're growing and how it's growing, and any of your tips and tricks on how you grow your food to help out somebody else that may need the help. And as a matter of fact, you might be helping me too, because I'm not an expert. I'm learning just like you all. I'm just probably more advanced than you may be if you're a beginner, because I started before you and I've learned a lot of lessons in doing it. So I'm grateful to you all for always being here with me and supporting me. I appreciate every last support that you guys gave me. It is so, like, I'm so grateful. Y'all don't even understand. Like, I can't even believe how fast I'm growing, and it's all because of you guys. All right, y'all, we're at the end. My people are tired now. I need to go eat something. Okay, all right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy me code switching, going in and out of my Liberian colloquy. I'm sure the Liberians out there that actually speak colloquy is like, girl, what is that? That my own colloquy, we gotta say around here, and I Liberian, yeah. But all right, y'all, I love you guys so much. This was such a fun video to film, because I feel like I'm introducing the Liberians to the rest of our Americans and other parts of the world, because I have a lot of people that watch from different parts of the world. So I just wanted to introduce, you know, my culture to you guys, and hopefully you might want to grow this. And let me know if you grow this or you eat this in your culture. If you're not Liberian, let me know if you eat this in your culture, and let me know how you prepare it, okay? Alrighty, y'all, I love you guys. Remember, you're exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. All right, happy gardening. Bye, y'all. Bye, guys. Oh, the tteokbokki wrap would be sweet, sweet, sweet. Ah. I can't wait to eat it tabagi. I can't wait to eat it tabagi. I can't wait to eat it sweet tabagi. Sweet tabagi. All right. I really like tabagi, y'all. Alrighty, y'all, this is where I am keeping them. As you can see, this is a 6 feet foldable table. This is where I put a lot of my plants to germinate and just to get some sunlight. That's the window right there. If you have like a south facing window like this one that gets like at least 8 to 16 hours of sun a day, that's where you want to keep your plants. They thrive in that environment. And then under here is where I do a lot of my germination, because I have these shop lights that I purchased. They're 4 feet shop lights, and I have it attached under this table with some zip ties, and they have like a lot of heat that come from these lights. It is 5,500 lumens, which is recommended for germination of your plants because it provides a good amount of heat. And so I just have them germinating under there. As you can see, I have some stuff that's already germinating here. This is the herbs that I've been germinating, and so far, y'all, this is like 2 days later and my sage has already germinated, which is quite shocking because sage take a long time to grow, but everything else hasn't germinated yet in my herb garden for my herbs. But yeah, so that's the little setup. Nothing special, nothing fancy, you use what you got and you make it work. But y'all, look at this. This is my habanero. This was like the 3rd time I tried these habaneros and they finally germinated. Look at what creeped up into my habaneros. I am looking at tomatoes plants. Why are there tomatoes in my pepper? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm seeing tomatoes. Like, what in the world? This is unbelievable. Why are there tomato seeds in here? When I tell y'all tomatoes will find a way in everything, I did not put tomato seeds in there. That's supposed to be all habaneros, and I'm seeing tomatoes, which is crazy. That's it, y'all. We're all done. Happy gardening.
And remember, y'all, if you're looking for organic heirloom seeds, go ahead in the description of this video and grab your pack of seeds in my Etsy store and get your garden popping. Bye, y'all. Happy gardening. Signature luxurious body butter is packed with all natural skin loving ingredients such as cocoa butter, coconut oil, shea butter, vitamin E oil, and baobab oil. Whipped to perfection, it is lightly made to be easily absorbed into the skin without clogging your pores. This body butter is free of parabens, sulfates, and synthetic fragrances.
Your new bestie.